do you got going on with engine, trans, and T-case?
Me and Chuck actually have the same motor displacement. This is a 4-liter Lexus, known as a 1UZ. Transmission, originally I kept the R150BF or whatever 5-speed, made it to this motor, and then changed to a 340 auto out of the Lexus. And there's a whole bunch you got to do that. It's not too hard, but you got to cut and chop and do some stuff.
Why did you change to the auto?
I kept breaking transfer cases. I had a 4.7 transfer case, gear style case, and I broke 2 of them, and that was getting expensive.
Oh, pulling this 4-cylinder case off here that's broke.
The 1UZ, the auto out of the car behind it with the original factory, I can't remember what they're called, but it's the chain driven case that would come behind the 3-liter. It's like the factory T case for this model rig.
What's the reduction on that one?
2.5 to 1. So it's actually not too bad with the torque this thing makes. This is like 260 horsepower, 260 torque at the flywheel. Pretty much stock seats, stock 4Runner interior. I have a fairly cheap ham radio, 2-meter radio, or dual band radio. And a CB, same CB that Chuck's got, AM, FM, which we use that, one or the other, in the snow or in the sand or wherever. It does have twin sticks. This is a stock transfer case. We did modify it to run twin sticks. Is my pull-out drawer. And in here I just keep, evidently some gold pan and stuff. That's where I keep my gold pan and stuff, yeah. That's from the last trip. Usually always bring a camp stove when we go in the snow, cook hot dogs, kids love it. Air up stuff. There's actually some extra drawers, or doors. I got ropes, shackles, and things like that in here. Maybe.
Oh yeah.
And then 2 5-gallon tanks in the back underneath.
Which are there. So what's your favorite mod? What's the favorite thing?
Well, my favorite mod is probably that drawer in the back. I love that, but I do like the V8, but I don't really consider that a mod. That's more like I just changed the motor because I blew a head gasket. But yeah, love this. The dog can ride on top. You can store a lot of stuff in here. Still have room for tools and things. Just way organized.
What's your biggest regret during the build process, or what do you wish you would have maybe done differently?
That's easy. When we did the 3-link in the rear, when we changed to a 9-inch, I, in my infinite wisdom, decided to buy some bulk metal, and I was gonna build everything. And I bought some really thin crap, and we built a 3-link that works great, but it's way too thin, and I promptly went to Utah, Sand Hollow, and ripped one of them off. So some of that still needs to be addressed, which we have big plans for Hightower. But yeah, that's easy. Number one regret is, and I wish I would have just bought the brackets and not tried to build everything.
Yeah, I would agree with that. What's your future plans for it?
Oh man, just go better than the Beaver.
Oh man, that's a tall order.
I pretty much already do, so it's not really a future plan. Current plans. So, future plans are probably do a doubler in the transfer case. Probably a Northwest Fab box because I have another factory chain-driven T case.
And those take those?
Yeah,
those take that to
like
build it.
VF or something. I can't remember what they're called. But you take the planetary out of them, buy their kit, put the planetary in, made them up. So doubler. We currently have in my garage brand new 3-link for the front, coilovers, nothing I bought this time, all very nice stuff. And then in the back I have some new coil springs and all new brackets and stuff to redo my 3-link so it's a little stronger with a little bit better coil spring in the back too.
The better because it's made for a Jeep, or?
Trying to avoid that part. Yes, it's actually some JK springs.
So who helped you do all this, or did you do pretty much most of it yourself, or?
Well, all the hard work was done by my buddy Chuck Holt. I just slave drive his ass. He's the guy behind the camera right now. Pretty much me and him, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, I've had
Okay.
some help from my brother and a couple other people, but
You got it.
yeah, Chuck usually lights a fire into my ass, then we have to tear Hightower apart. Well, usually because something breaks, then we have to fix it.
What do you think it does the best at?
Oh, kicking Jeep's ass. Hands down. That is, yeah. Oh, yeah, it just stomps them right into the ground. Sometimes.
Sometimes.
It does, well, here's where it does kick a Jeep's ass, or at least a two-door, hauling my family around.
Yeah.
It does extremely good in the snow if it's the right kind of snow. If we get into that dry, powdery, deep stuff, kind of no one can go. Hightower likes the wet, crappy snow that other people struggle in. That's where it does really well. And on that note too, the Hightower weighs one unique thing: 5,000 pounds exactly. It was like 4,990 pounds or something, and it's split 50-50 front to rear, so the balance, and side to side. With me in the driver's seat, it is within 20 pounds on every tire, and I think that's part of the secret on why it does really good.
That's hard to do even on a race car.
It has broke a few things. So let's start with one front differential, because I was being stupid.
What's that noise?
And just plowed into a rock at like full throttle trying to rock hop, which you can't do on Toyota axles, so, or at least not when you're this heavy. 3 Toyota rear ends, that was what prompted us to go to the 9-inch. And then, let's see, that had the 3-liter, it blew a head gasket, that happened. Leaf springs, 3 front leaf springs, and that's because of axle wrap.
Hightower's about to get renamed Short Shaft.
2 T cases, 247 T cases, 23 spline, like, yeah, not doing that no more.
What else? Oh, I guess you also wheel bearing, 2 wheel bearings in Utah,
No, just 1 wheel bearing.
but by the end of it, the other one was draining.
Well, that is right, yeah. I've been down in the sand. That's like changing.
And then a coil pack in Utah.
That's like changing, that's like air cleaner stuff, maintenance.
Has it ever caught on fire?
Yeah, Chuck caught it on fire once. A Jeep guy caught it on fire.
It caught on fire.
Oh, yeah, luckily we got it out.
Definitely caught on fire.
If you haven't seen that video, go check it out. It was the first time we started up and poof, right in the shop.
Oh.
So yeah, mainly running gear stuff. But once I went to the high pinion in the front, I quit breaking front. Well, I also go mild on it if we're in the rocks, or try to.
And now the 9-inch is in there, I don't think you're gonna have a problem there.
Oh, I better not have a problem in the rear. It's got 35 spline chrome ollies in the 9-inch. It's not just a regular 9-inch. It's like the beefed up 9-inch. So
You've mentioned it called Hightower. Obviously, everybody who watches the channel knows it's called Hightower. Why is it called Hightower, and where did the name come from?
well, it sits pretty tall for what it is, and then the body roll is just horrendous. So you like go around the corner and it'll just flop over. And one of the guys behind me is like, geez, that thing looks like Hightower from Police Academy, just because it's so tall. So all you young kids aren't going to know what that is, but there was this movie back in the 80s called Police Academy, and there's one dude's like 7 feet tall, and they call him Hightower.
And it's actually lower than it was back then.
Oh yeah, we used to have like the cheap 5-inch leaf springs in the front, and we dropped it down the last time we did the leaf spring thing, or a couple times ago. We got the front end down quite a bit more.
Probably 1.75 inches, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It drove a lot better too.
So it was pretty tall, obviously. But have you ever rolled it? Or laid it on its side?
I've laid it on its side, but we didn't roll all the way over.
Yeah.
One time.
What's the sketchiest trail fix that you've done?
We'll start with just this last summer, we had an overheating issue, and one of the relays was acting up, so we straight hot wired, just took a chunk of wire and plugged her in to get my fans to work so I could stay cool. That was mildly sketchy, I would say, not too bad. It's more like a good trail fix. There's the time when it wouldn't run, and it took us a little bit to figure it out, and well, it's a long story, but I had a hole in my intake, and I carved out a wooden maple plug, and we jammed it in there, and we were to get it home. Not that sketchy, but it's kind of a good trail fix.
Did you use it after that, or did you fix it right away?
Oh no, we ran it till hell. I think we ran it till we put this motor in it. I think.
Yeah.
Like, no need to fix it if it's working. Oh no, one time, it was wintertime in the snow when we carved out this maple plug, and then by summertime it dried out and it shrunk, and we had to like retighten the hose clamp around it, and I think I put some silicone on it because it was sucking
On the wood.
It was sucking on the wood past the mat. Another little bit slightly more sketchy fix would be the time I broke a U-bolt in the snow, and we used like a Walmart ratchet strap to ratchet strap the leaf spring back to the axle and drove home on it.
How far did you have to drive?
Probably 30 miles or something. It was a ways. Kind of sketchy, I would say, was when my rear end spit a ring bolt out the back of the housing. We took a Coors Light can and JB welded it over the back and let that dry and put a new diff in it and filled it up with oil. And another time that was a little bit more sketchy was the time we broke the 3-link in Sand Hollow, the top link on the 3-link, and again had to use ratchet straps. This time beefy ones, thanks to Nathan, not the little cheap Harbor Freight ones or Walmart ones. And we like ratchet strapped the rear end so it didn't twist up on me. And we drove down to Matt's Off-Road Recovery, and he sent us to another guy that fixed us up. Of all these times, Hightower has always made the trip, always made it out, whereas I know of at least 2 times that the Beaver has not made it. Yeah. So we did do a sketchy fix on the trail. Little backstory, coming in hot, these guys were all on the side of the road airing up, and I was just gonna come in and show off and anchor the brakes and make a bunch of dust and kind of, haha, look at me kind of scenario. So we came in hot, and I hit the brakes, and she popped a line, and we just flew right past them, headed for the main road, and my heart just dropped, and I thought I was gonna die. Jammed it into first, nothing happened. Anchoring the brakes, well, the back was locked up, so she started to fishtail, so we just looped it out and did a 180 before we went across the main road and died. And then our sketchy trail fix was, because it's got an automatic now, we took an old piece of clutch line, threaded it into the master cylinder, and then like hammered the end over and folded it off, and we had a little bit of brake fluid, and we topped it back off, and then I drove all the way back to camp like 20 miles with one front brake. I mean, it has the backs, but they're not. When you're on 40s and your name's Hightower and you lean and you hit the brakes with one brake, it does one of these every time. So I just put a Jeep out in front of me, and I'm like, hey, if I got to run into you, no big deal.
And you know that it's going to work, so you know it's going to have good brakes.
Other sketchy trail fixes after that? I mean, there's probably half a dozen more, but who knows? Wait till next year. I'll show you some more.
That's Hightower. If you guys have any questions further than that, then put them in the comments. We'll get you an answer.